Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi, PrincetonTrader.com, here for NTMarkets.com with your Monday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, daily chart of the E-mini, and you can see that the band ride ended on Friday. The green bar here did two things: didn't interact with the upper band, and it broke the prior day low. So the two conditions that we talked about are satisfied. So the bands are still fairly tight. They're underneath 4, and it gives the bears an opportunity, but it puts them in a position where they have to continue to perform today. They are, they are exposed. And what they're exposed to would be establishing the new weekly pivot, which comes in at 2083.20 as support. Now, in looking at what's happened tonight, here's a 5-minute chart. You've got the new weekly pivot here, which is basically locked up with the daily pivot right around 2083.20. You can see in the overnight, we opened up on the highs. They took it down, took it underneath the weekly pivot, tried to establish it as resistance, popped over the top, and then we dropped down to 74. What's important about this is we shouldn't really be back. Okay? It's okay to be back, but you want to be back down here. You don't want to be back above the weekly pivot again. So the bears need to rectify that. If they can rectify that and establish the weekly pivot as resistance early in the week, the side which tends to establish the weekly pivot as either resistance or support, establish the weekly pivot to their benefit early in the week, tends to control the rest of the week. So I typically view Monday and into Tuesday as, who's going to win that battle for the weekly pivot. It served us very well over the last couple of years, at least in having a general lean as to who's in control of the market. So the bears took it out by almost 10 handles and gave it right back. That's not a good sign. If you see the bulls take control here and establish the weekly pivot, the daily pivot, and at the same time the 9-day simple moving average here, the blue line, as support, then they can make another run up toward that upper band level, okay, right around 2104. The Bollinger Bandwidth is so tight that we're not talking about bands that are completely blown out, something with this kind of width. Okay, this here was the band ride back in January. By the time it ended here, your Bollinger Bandwidth was upwards of 15. Right now, it's 3.76. So we could be just taking a break and we continue right on up, or you see a break of the 9-day simple, break of 86, daily pivot and weekly pivot, in which we will go down and we'll test the mid-band, and then we can make some real serious decisions about what the mini really wants to do. Okay, everybody have a fantastic day. Follow us at Twitter at Princeton Trader. Check out the website, PrincetonTrader.com. Come check out the chat room. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another webcast. Trade them well, everybody.